What's good, y'all? It is Carl with this special edition of um, the Friends of Business podcast. I guess I'll call this one of my no paper, no ink, just what I think. I wanted to give my hot takes on the podcast summit hosted by the Social Proof podcast. Dave and Donnie, they did a excellent job. I said I'm gonna give my good, my bad, and my ugly because I've been going to these since I was like 12, going to different business conferences. My pastor took me to a whole lot of places over the years, so I feel like I'm a expert uh, at um, at viewing them, right? Just being an attendee, and so this will just give you a little bit. Like I won't be in here for long. But number one, it was great information. From talking about sponsorship of Mario, and making sure that it's treating like a business with Donnie, and just even the hot seat sessions that Dave did. I wish I would have got on stage to do it because I feel like I'd be a good podcast interviewer. But check out my podcast to see if it's true. Just follow it right there. But anyway, but no, the information was really, really good on, especially on day one with the breakout sessions with really specific action items that you could take. I always like action when I go places. I don't just like hype or people make you feel good or showing, all the stuff that they got. Um, and it wasn't even like all sales. It was really dope information for people who wanted to start, who wanted to grow, who already been in it. Um, Another thing that I liked about it, one of the other good things is it was a very intimate setting. Uh, Pretty much everybody got to see everybody. You stand in the lobby and you're running into a finesse, a him 500, David Amari. I got to meet Donnie the night before at dinner over my boy JD. Special shout out to JD, Jason Draper, my big brother from Hampton, who was the first to sign up, and he's actually the reason I signed up because when I heard the episode where he said he did it, he was first in line. I know if JD's first in line, I got to be second, and so I did that because that's somebody whose word I truly trust. And then one of the good things was as I'm coming up the steps first day, I look up and I see one of my little brothers from Hampton, um, Andrew Nguyen. We called him Audio back in the day. He used to own BYOB, Build Your Own Brand, and his company put on all the production. So to see Hamptonians everywhere in the building is always a good thing. So that was great. But yeah, the intimacy as a part of it, where again you could sit there, meet and talk and have conversations with people, and it felt like a family reunion of people you didn't even know that you knew. And so I really like that. That was another good thing. And then one thing that I really liked, and I've said this and I continuously say this, is I know people talk about black excellence and being in the room and things of that nature, but out of all the places I've been to, this is one of the first where I could say it was really it was authentic to us. And um and I use the phrase, well, you've heard this phrase before, go where you're celebrated. And this was a instance where I feel like we were really celebrated. Like I said, you're walking down the lobby and, you'll bump into a him 500, a finesse, Ash Cash, brothers who have done a lot, who are doing, making money and putting helping other people to be successful, and putting out great content, Big Loon, like all of this. And it's like they still stay who they are. Yeah, of course, that you look, when you get 7 8 figures, you're going to operate on another level, but they didn't whitewash themselves. I mean, I just going to be real about that. But to see that, the culture is still in us, and we really celebrated our culture there. That was really dope to me. And I think that was the number one thing that I liked about it, was that we celebrated each other and nobody was like, oh, this is inappropriate for us to be hyping up. I looked and I saw what, everybody called drip. What I'm saying? I'm not like a real fashionable dude, but I looked and I saw, the Dolce Gabbana shoes, the chains, the fly suits, all of that stuff, the style that's authentically us. We don't have to, you ain't really gotta be all that like play yourself down if you made it, if you're doing certain things. So to see that happen, man, it was truly a blessing to me. Um, because you don't often see it happen. We get to these places and folks feel like they need to change or they need to, operate in a different way. But it was very, very receptive of it, and then even to see, Dave and his family. If you stuck around for the concert, him on the stage with his daughter dancing and his wife on the side. I mean, all that was just, it was like, man, this is where we all strive to be. And to me, it's the epitome of the growth in our culture. Like, this is where our culture is headed, where we're creating our own heroes, we're creating our own standard, we're setting a pace for, hey, when you get to this place, you still can be you still celebrate, you still have your family, you still have those people that you love. Also, the many opportunities that I had to meet people from all across the globe, well, especially across the country, in the Negro diaspora, they say. But I mean, made a whole lot of contacts with folks. I mean, I got more, numbers and followers, and I hope y'all got y'all bag. If you still want a bag, go ahead, comment. I'll mail it to you. You gotta pay shipping, but I send it to you. So I still got a few more left. The Friends of Business bag, but it was really really enjoyable for me. So to even see the opportunities, like it was one part where we had like a meetup in the content lounge where we were able to come together and folks just started recording with each other. I'm actually dropping one of those episodes on Friday with the All In Society. We talked about the economic teaching poker through. I mean, teaching economics by teaching poker, personal finance. So you may want to check that out. Again, Friends of Business Pod right there. Go ahead, sign up down, and I'll send you one of these. Just pay shipping. But yeah, and even I discovered a new app called Local, Lokul, by JR from Ohio, and I'm like, man, I want to put some content on there as well, because again, this is about building all of us together. And last but not least, if you missed the concert at the end, the R&B joint with Q Parker and friends, you missed out. That was a party, and again, like I said, it was so intimate. Everybody up at the stage, they're sitting there, talking to folks, that I've only listened to their music before, but I mean, it was just really, really intimate. And so shout out to you, Dave, Donnie, for all that you did, and bringing all of us together. So that's the good. Now, when it comes to the bad and the ugly, everybody knows that, if you've ever done anything, even small events, but if you've done a huge event, you know that nothing is perfect, right? And so if we talk about the bad and the ugly, I'm not going to be the person to do it. You can talk about it all you want. I was standing at the very end when they gave David and Donnie the flowers, and the young lady Kay, who's David's assistant. I was like, y'all. I said, I come again tomorrow. He said, yeah, we got to fix some stuff. That in itself is enough to let me know I ain't got to tell them nothing bad. Like, they gonna improve what they need to improve. They got a dope team. They put everything together. It flows smoothly for me. I enjoyed myself. Ain't no reason for me to point out bad or ugly. I wasn't looking for the bad or the ugly. So I'm not even trying to remember if there was anything bad or ugly about it. It was really dope experience. So kudos to you. Look, I'm not even trying to cite y'all for real, but I do believe in giving, honor to whom honor is due, giving people their flowers that deserve it. And y'all deserve everything, every good thing that's coming your way because of this. Next year I hope we double the amount of people. You know what I'm saying? I was VIP this year. I'm probably gonna go up to All-Star or Mastermind. But it was a wonderful experience. Like I said, I'm looking forward to reconnecting with a lot of people that I connected with while I was there. Don't forget to tag me if you got me in videos in your podcast. Like I was talking to Be Selfish. Nat. I mean, just a whole lot out there, man. So I'm really glad to have been a part of such a wonderful thing. So those are my hot takes. This is the Friends of Business podcast, where normally you meet my friends with businesses and you benefit. But I wanted to tell you all about the benefit that I got from this weekend at the podcast summit. If you're a podcaster, even if you're not a podcaster, if you're just a Black person or a human who is interested in business and entrepreneurship, it really was the place to be this weekend. And so when they do it again, you best believe you probably want to get the tickets early, because it's really, 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 it was worth it. The whole time was worth it. Every day that I was there, every hour I was there, spent time. Oh, also, last but not least, special shout out to what's the youngest names? Y'all know their names. The Gen Z podcast. It's on the tip of my tongue. Growing Pains. Yeah, they really took care of my niece. My niece came down well, she's my Hamptonian niece, so my homegirl from Hampton sent her niece Asiana down because she wants to start a podcast, and I introduced her to Growing Pains. I didn't even know them. I said, "Hey, these are the ones you need to talk to," and they really took care of her for the entire weekend. And they seemed like they hit it off pretty well, and they really made her feel at home when she was around a bunch of us old folks. Right, she's only 18, but they made her feel at home. So special shout out to Growing Pains. Because to accept somebody like family when you already got your thing and you bring somebody in and let them just be with you the entire time, man, that's very, very commendable. So those young folks, they did their thing. But that's really all I had to say. Again, please like, subscribe, share, tell somebody about my podcast, but of course, tell some people about what Social Proof has done. It's really my favorite podcast right now. So let's rock and roll, man. Hope to see y'all at the top. Let's go.